Custom Ninjago minifigures, in my opinion, is one of the best parts when it does come to Ninjago. Stuff that you can buy from third-party sellers, as long as they're trusted, can be nothing short of amazing, and I want to cover more of it very soon. But of course, unfortunately, it's just not something that everyone does have access to. In terms of just LEGO Ninjago in general, you are more likely just to get your hands on the official stuff instead of the unofficial stuff, which is a shame, but it's basically just the law of the land. But the thing is that when you do have all of these official Ninjago pieces, you can certainly make your own interpretations and your own customs in accordance with it. And I know personally, when I was younger, I absolutely loved to do this. I was always making custom suits. I was also making custom minifigures. I loved having these own interpretations, and I honestly wish I still had them to this day. But unfortunately, I put them back into those pesky original variants. So what I've done today is actually take some Ninjago minifigures and made some very nice and easy customs that you could also do with your own Ninjago collection. Not requiring pulling apart the arms or getting rid of pieces, just small adjustments utilizing multiple minifigures to make something pretty cool. And honestly, I think they are pretty nice for what they are, and I would love to know what you guys think. So let me not waste any more of your time, and let me show off some of these fun customs that you could make. The first custom that we are going to show off today is going to be a custom Legacy Deepstone Nia. Now, we do already have a Legacy Deepstone Ninja being Zane, but the thing is that he is a one of a kind, and you cannot make any of the other ninja because of the mask being unique. But in the case of Nia, all of the parts that you would need to match her up perfectly with Zane are already there. Taking the original Deepstone Nia and taking the Legacy mask, her new face, and also the Season 11 shoulder armor, you can make something really fun. And that would be this new variant that would go perfectly in line with the Zane. Now, I will say you could also switch out the arms, but I said I didn't want to do that for this video because this is with minimal actual adjustments that you could make very simply. But this minifigure does genuinely go to the point that it needs to be. I love this interpretation, and I do think this update is very nice looking. I think this would be a no-brainer personally, but of course it's something that LEGO never went with, like they didn't with all the others. But it would just be extremely cool, and I do think this variant does have some appreciation. If you do have some extra pieces like I do, you could definitely keep this one around in line with your Zane. It just makes me hope that we could get the other ninja one day, but unfortunately I definitely do doubt it. But as it stands, this Nia is a very fun one to have, and definitely a nice little one-off to put with Zane. I would love to know if any of you would do this, because I do think this is a very solid addition to any collection. The second custom for today is going to be a Legacy Day of the Departed variant. Now, this could work for any of the ninja, but I'm going to show it off with Lloyd specifically because of Lloyd involvement. If you take your standard Day of the Departed, take the brand new brown version of the Season 11 scabbard and also the Legacy mask and face, you can now actually make a new variant of what is going to be a Day of the Departed Lloyd. And, well, here he is. Something about this minifigure just kind of scratches the itch in the back of my head. It also kind of serves as a Legacy version of the pilot outfits if you think of it. But I love how this minifigure looks. I think the new scabbard actually does feel really good with these outfits. I actually got inspired to do this off of Garmadork. But I do think it's a very fun variant and definitely does give that new modernized feel to the ninja suits. I really like this interpretation and just feels like a lot of fun. So if you do happen to come upon a handful of these new brown scabbard pieces, you could definitely accomplish this one. The only one that you'd have to make a fairly major change to is going to be Zane, because it doesn't exist in the flat silver. But again, the brown really doesn't look that bad with Zane because he already has brown on the outfit. But honestly, if you do have multiples, I would definitely recommend you do this as well. Personally, I only have the one scabbard when it does come to Lloyd, and that's why I'm only showing off one, but still, it's a very fun addition. Our third customs up for the day are going to be some Legacy variants of Skybound. Now, unfortunately, you cannot make a completed set of these either because you are missing the pieces that would be required for Nia. So I'm showing off with just the core 4, and then I'm going to show you something that's a little bit better after this. But as it stands, the Skybound Ninja are absolutely fantastic. But with the new pieces that we got this year, I think you can make something honestly a lot more interesting than what we currently have. Taking again the gold scabbard from the Season 11 armor, or if you wanted to, the new Tournament of Sources armor that we saw on Rogue and the Ninja, you can create a new variant of the Skybound Ninja. In terms of the hood then, you could add on the new Legacy ZX hood. I know it's not the exact same and it's not a dual molded mask, but I don't know why, but there's something about this variant that just kind of works. The extra bit of gold and the ninja color being the highlight, I really do think functions for this design. It definitely does just have that legacy feel, feeling like something beyond what we typically get. And it does just make them all look really cool together. I love how they all just feel very much in line with each other. I think this is honestly a fantastic addition and definitely one that I would recommend. Of course, there are other options you could do. We have got other dual molded masks, but the thing is that I think this is the most comfortable addition that you could make. I think honestly this does give that legacy feel like I said, and definitely does feel like a very valued addition, and honestly a fairly fun one at that. But I do think there's one that's better, which is actually going to be the Kimono Ninja. Now, the reason why I think this is a good pick is because this is a set of ninja that doesn't actually involve Nia, which means the lack of the piece necessary for her is not a factor, which is a shame. And if they ever did do the Kimono Ninja in Legacy, I hope they would do a Nia, but as it currently stands, you just simply can't. But as it stands with the 5 ninja that you have, with the addition of the new Legacy ZX pieces, you can definitely make something really cool here. And they make this, which I honestly think is just a fantastic looking set. Putting them all back in the gold is just really cool. You would probably go back to the whole argument of Jay and Cole having gold, but I really do think they function here with these designs, but I really do like how these look. Again, really just feeling like a legacy rendition of these kimono outfits. I think they all flow well and just look more uniform than ever. I think this genuinely is one of the best looks I've seen in a very long time. Alternatively, getting Legacy Kimono Ninja could serve as a way to finally get those new Legacy ZX hoods with the actual silver crest for Cole and Jay, but I doubt they would just do that at all. So as it stands, I do think this would be a very cool way of giving us these iconic designs, these uniform designs, and just continue to actually get these new Legacy pieces. I really like how these look, like I said, and they do feel honestly better than the Legacy ZX in some way. So I do hope these happen one day, and these are personal favorites. But that does bring us through to the final ones I'm going to talk about for today, which is going to be the 10th anniversary ninja. Now these are fairly synonymous as just being the celebration set of ninja suits, and I still consider them that to this very day, and they all represent different times and different spaces when it does come to the ninja. So they don't really have that uniform look, even though for the most part they do share similar designs. So let's actually fix it, and I do think there are some good ways to do it now. Your first option could be adding the spectral armor that we actually got in Dragon's Rising, but the thing is that we don't actually have the right color of blue for Jay. Now you could take Sora's version of it, which is that darker blue, but I just don't really think it works. All of the other ninja have got their nice and bright variants, apart from Cole, but the thing is that it does just make it feel like Jay just doesn't fit in here. So whilst these are a nice option and definitely do seem cool, they definitely don't feel correct. So let's fix it up. To start with, we are going to change out Wu's golden beard actually for the dragon armor. Of course, we're meant to try and represent the ninja in some form of uniform manner, but Wu always has something different to him specifically, and the dragon armor is a great way of representing Wu during 2 of his more important seasons, being crystallized, where he fought the Overlord, and then also in season 9 where he gets his memory back and becomes the Dragon Master. This is an amazing addition and I love how this looks. And then with the ninja, I honestly think the best way of doing it is taking these new dragon shoulder pads that we got in season 4 and uniforming them like that. I think all of them with this same armor looks amazing, and then having the headband hair I do think is another nice one. Of course, I've taken the headband hair from Cole from the island, but if you don't like it, you could just use his regular hair. But this actually makes all of the ninja look perfectly uniform with each other. They all look right in line with each other, and I honestly think this is one of the best looks I've ever actually seen. There is just something about this that flows in my opinion. All of the ninja just feel like they actually belong with this uniform look. And like I said, because the rest of their pieces are basically the same just with their own elemental colors, it really does just finish off the look. Now I want to say, I think what they did initially speaking with the designs I think are fantastic. Having these different variations of the 11-minute era is really cool. But I do think this just gives that uniform feel that we should have with these anniversary minifigures. It just makes sense. So this just definitely does feel like an upgrade and definitely does just make the ninja feel complete here. I would love if we got one day a gold version of Aaron, Sora, Frack, Wildfire and Ryu, but I don't know if that'll ever actually happen. But as it stands, having these 6 as a representation of the celebration, all with each other in a nice scale and with Wu at the front with the dragon armor, really does just make it feel complete. And honestly is one of the best ones I wanted to show off today, because I think they are just the best ones of the lot. But those are some fun customs that you could very easily do with your Ninjago collection. I hope I presented some new ideas here, and I would love to know, are these something that you would like in your own collection? Would you like these legacy renditions of the kimono outfit, or the Day of the Departed outfit, or uniform your golden 10th anniversary ninja in line with each other using the new season 4 parts? I would love to know what you think, because I do think there's a lot of potential here, and also, what easy customs could you make with a LEGO Ninjago collection that you think are really cool? What is one that most Ninjago fans could make that would just look fantastic in the collection? I would love to know, because I do think this is a really good spot for some inspiration on how you can make your Ninjago collection feel a lot more unique. But thank you very much for watching the video, and I do hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider subscribing. I love discussing Ninjago with more people. And if you do want to support the channel any further, which you do not have to, you could always become a channel member and join the legends that you see on screen. Each of your support means the absolute world to me, and I truly cannot thank you enough. But like I said, that's about it for today, and take care. Okay,